how you doing? I'm doing good. I think it's like windy and kind of stormy and ugly outside, so I'm glad I'm inside. How do you take a DVD or a book that can't be digitized or can't be licensed, but it has to be on the physical course reserves at the library? This is how you do it through a Canvas course. So when you are the teacher of record and you have a course number and section, all of that gets tied into your Canvas courses that are made, right? During the pandemic, there was an app created, and I forget the name of it, but there was an app created that we now call Course Materials that communicates between all of that rich metadata Canvas website and the library course reserves, and you can talk back and forth between them. So this video will be showing you how to do that. In a library practice course, I'm not tied to the course catalog or anything, so there'll be some default moments that I'm not going to talk to the library as effectively. They'll be like, huh? But it'll make more sense as you go, and I'll talk you through that. When you are in the course navigation in Canvas for me is this string of links down the left-hand side. You are looking for something called Course Materials. Course Materials should show up down the left-hand side near the bottom or wherever you have it moved. If it doesn't show up in the list, you can go to Settings and add that in your navigation settings. I'll briefly do that here. Briefly, depending on how fast it loads. So you can see navigation right here. That is where you would add or subtract items. So there you can see it lines up with everything that's over here. If you don't have course materials, it'll be one of these things down here. And you can click and drag it up there, or you can right click and enable, and it will show up at the bottom of your list. So I want to do course materials because I want to add a DVD to my course. So click on course materials, and I'll be given some choices. And just by clicking on course materials, it's like, okay, now you are communicating to the library, and this is the wrapper that you're going to be communicating in via this particular course. So if you do this with one course, you'll have to do it through the other ones with different course numbers and things like that. Unless you are an advanced user, I would suggest starting a new reading list from scratch. There's ways of importing them and customizing them and things like that, and I'm happy to help with that. But just to get you started, this is a great place to go. When you click on Create It, I don't have a course, so my course info doesn't show up there. Oh, I mean, it does. There's none. The description that you type in can be something that the library people would see, and also might be what your students see. I'm just going to click on Create because I have no intention of sending this in. So there's templates. So default is where you can create custom sections. That's more advanced. There's different weeks. The semester works on the 16 weeks, so I think this is like the best place to start. And again, it's like doing all this stuff in the background. It's pretty cool. So it's not just loading, but it's like laying out all of the weeks of your semester. And it has the course code right here. And there's all sorts of places that we can input things. So for example, on each week, so I'll go to week 2, for example, you can click on this little 3-dot menu, an ellipsis, is that what that is? And you can edit the section, and you can say, this is the grand video week. This message is for students. I don't think the library will be thrown off by titles like that. And you can put in a description like, hey, remember that you have to watch this and do the quiz by the end of Friday or something like that. And you can put in dates that these items are open or available. So if you wanted to close off stuff or if you wanted to leave it open for longer than a single week, this is one place that you can do it. There's another place you can do it as well. But whatever you do, this is just kind of a wrapper, a metadata wrapper describing the contents. So if I wanted to put a video into week 2, and you can see it goes all the way to the end of the semester, I would click on Add Items. Again, there's some other things that you can do, copy sections, add to clipboard, blah, blah, blah. All these advanced things you can do that I'm happy to help with. But there's a basic way to go in. add items, and it'll say, well, do you want to upload a file? You could upload your own paper, for example. And there's all sorts of copyright issues that you negotiate, so you couldn't upload your copy of a copyrighted work. This would have to be something that you'd already, you own the copyright or you'd negotiated, because there's a lot of those things going on in universities. The best place to start is library search, because then you can see stuff that we already have licensed. And this search is fantastic. It typically finds everything we're looking for pretty neatly. So I'm going to put in one of the titles, Spider-Man No Way Home. You don't have to put quotes or do anything fancy. This is a very smart search. This is if you're doing a scholarly article and you want to find something that you request, this is what you would do there. But typically we have tracked stuff down, and then we go in here and then we connect it. So I'm looking for Spider-Man No Way Home, the DVD. I'm going to move my head. And there's a whole bunch of different things. Well, there's a lot of articles written about that. That's pretty cool. But since we know this is a DVD, right, we want to go to audiovisual. And here we have, oh, there's No Way Home and Far From Home. We wanted the No Way Home. So you could simply click on this. it's like, pick me. And Willem Dafoe's in that. He's in everything. Oh, this is the one where he's the Goblin, isn't it? And it was, who was the Vulture? Oh, at any rate, when you click on that, it'll say, hey, do you want to add this? And what section do you want to add this to? And you just click on add. And then, if we don't have this streaming, or we don't have this as an online link, it'll say, okay, we only have this in the physical format. What do you want us to do? And here is where you would say, oh, I want this added to the physical, I want a physical item added to the reserved shelves. And then I can put in a loan period. So I could say non-circulating, so it stays in the library, or you can have it be different options where people could actually check it out and leave the library with it. I would recommend if you want students to look at it, I would say non-circulating. That way it won't leave the library. And people can go in and get a DVD player from the Knowledge Commons computer desk. Be that as it may, you get to pick. And here's like digitizing things and blah, 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 blah. But for just a video, all you'd have to do is click on confirm. I must enter the value. Oh, I have to do the loan period. Let's try this time. Yay. And now, under week 2, you'll see there's a little 1. And here that is. Isn't that cool? It now exists in there. When you are done, let's see, how do we confirm this? I've forgotten this on my part of my video. Oh, there it is. Library review. I knew it was something easy but hidden somewhere. When you click on library review, after you've compiled your whole list, this is what will push it to the library course reserves, and they will get back to you with questions via Canvas, and they will also give you status updates where they'll say, yep, this is ready to go. I don't know their turnaround time, but I imagine it's rather quick, especially this time of year when people are putting stuff together for their semester. You can add stuff anytime, subtract stuff anytime. You're not tied to this particular time of the semester. If you have questions about this as you go, you can reach out to the reserves, or you can reach out to me and I can track down and troubleshoot on your behalf.